Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pretty Coffee with Kristen show. Today I'm doing the show again outside, and I'm going to be talking to you about ways to stop negative self-talk in your own head, because we really create these things in our own mind, and we're going to talk about ways to stop them. My name is Kristen Schmidt. I wrote a book called Bring Pretty Back, and I talk to you about ways to bring pretty back and create a pretty life. And I am talking to you today about ways to stop self-talk and negative self-talk. And, I've been thinking about this. I did a show about this, and I just kind of talked about it. But today we're going to talk about ways to stop it. And the feedback was because it's so many people struggle with this. So many people struggle, and it's so sad to me, but we do. And it really comes down to, what are we telling ourselves and why? And a lot of times what I've noticed is it almost becomes a habit, and we identify ourselves by the things that we tell ourselves in our head, and most of them are negative. And myself included, I've done almost 100 shows. And every single time I go to do a show, there's a little button at the bottom that says start broadcast. And when I have to put the words in what the show's about, the title, and then there's the little button to push to start. And every single time, 100% of the time, I'm so nervous to hit the button to record the show, because I have the negative self-talk in my own head about, is the show going to be good? Am I good enough? Am I going to make a fool of myself? Is this worthwhile? Every single time, 100% of the time. And I battle this every time. And, it seems like with everything, and we also, I've noticed, such as myself, is there are things that we do that we've done for years and years and years. And one of the things that I've done in this for negative self-talk is I was a teen mom, and I didn't go to college. So I've identified myself and my self-talk with, I'm not very smart. I didn't go to college. I don't have a degree. I don't have credentials. So in my mind, I didn't have value. And that has been a loop that's been going on in my head now for since 1980, probably about 1985, 86, 87. And it's just been continuing. And I measure myself against that. I measure myself against what I haven't done instead of what I have done. And it's really time to stop. I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm still telling myself that same story in my head from 30 years ago. And I guess I was thinking about it this morning, and by telling myself that I wasn't smart because I didn't get a college education and I was a teen mom, I thought about it this morning. I thought, that's true. It is true. But, but I finished high school, and it wasn't easy, but I finished high school, and I went on, and I've done other things in my life. I've started businesses. I wrote a book. I've done things. But it's funny how we focus on the negative, isn't it? Focus on what we haven't done, what we haven't accomplished, and our negative things in our head. And it's when I start identifying it, start thinking about it. Are you doing that? Are you running the same loop in your head for years and years and years, the same loop over and over? And if you are, stop and think about it, like I did this morning. And what is the positive spin about it? What is it that you've done good? What have you accomplished? Sit down and write down the things that you have accomplished, and start focusing on those and not what you haven't, or what you feel is a negative. And sometimes we need a little help from people in our lives, and our friends and our family and people that support us. And what you can do is, if you're struggling with yourself and with positive things, contact someone that you just love and trust and that loves you. Ask them. If you're struggling, ask them. Say, I'm really struggling with these things, and I need some help. I need some help with this. I'm struggling. So what do you see good about me? What is positive about me? And listen to them and trust them, and really believe them. Believe them, because people that love you tell you the truth about things like that, and it is how they see you. We see ourselves differently than others see us. We do. We see ourselves differently. And start looking at the positive. Start looking at things in a different way, and just start looking at things positive in your life, that you are worthy, that you have value, and you're not the mistakes you've made. You're not the shortcomings that you feel you have. And stop that. Just please, I'm begging you to stop it, because we've all done this so much. I've talked to so many women about this, and so many women struggle with this, and they're beautiful, wonderful people that are accomplished, and they have so many wonderful things, but they tell themselves the negative things in their life. So do that today. Sit down and really think about, is it true? Is it true what you're telling yourself? Is it really true? Is it real? Or are you amplifying it? Find someone to tell you, have them, call them, text them, write them, email them, send them a letter, whatever it takes, and just tell them you need some help. And if you find one person, 2 people, as many as you can, and then document that, keep the letters, keep the text, write it down. And when you're feeling low, go ahead and start believing these things about yourself. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with me today. My name is Kristen Schmidt, and you can find me at prettycoffeewithkristen.com. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and ways that you combat a negative self-talk in your head. I would love to hear it. And what are some things you're struggling with? Because I want to hear that as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me today. Go out, do something nice for yourself today. Tell yourself something nice to yourself, and go out and tell someone else something nice about them. Go out and tell someone nice about them, even if they don't ask. Send someone an email, say, hey, or a text, and say, hey, you know what? I think you're wonderful because, and just send it. You won't believe how much it means to someone, and it only takes you maybe a minute, and it means the world to someone else. Thank you so much for taking the time today. I will be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and I'm going to be talking to you about something exciting. Thank you so much for taking the time. Bye-bye.